beneficial for us. A reminder from your friends here at The Message for You.
Thanks for joining us today with Patrick and Howard on The Message for You. Mandisa now, voice of a Savior.
Summer clearance event savings. 0 APR financing for 72 months. And no payments for 90 days on most in-stock inventory, like new Jeep Cherokees. Feel the power of two at Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Chattanooga 2020.
I spend my life working for change. Now my grandchildren are the same. I'm proud. Our work must include completing the 2020 census. Why does it matter? Well, undercounted communities could miss out on billions in funding each year for healthcare, schools, and job assistance. Respond online today or answer when a census taker knocks. They'll be wearing masks and following local safety guidelines.
It's not too late. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Help the Chattanooga Red Wolves defend the Den against New England this Saturday at 1 p.m. CHI Memorial Stadium. Lock in your back-to-school pack online that includes a general admission and 2 scoops of Brewster's ice cream. Click ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com.
Don't make a $1,000 mistake. This is Taft Butcher from Kia of Chattanooga, where we make the deals other dealers won't.
You could be driving a Kia. Oh, yes, you could. Kia of Chattanooga.
Why pay more for a used car when Kia of Chattanooga can sell you a new car for less? 2020 Kia Soul LX lease. 0 down.
WSB Talk. I can take calls on this program because on my morning program, my call screener went to the beach and left me. Didn't even think, maybe I should get a call screener. It's the week. Nope. Went to the beach, and then that beep drove past my house and texted that he was driving past my house on his way to the beach and sent me a middle finger emoji, too. I sent him a middle finger emoji, made him turn on the radio station I knew he could get when he was driving past my house and talked bad about him on the radio and told him he was fired. He heard it all live on the radio. Jerk. He'll be back on Monday. Y'all, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook bacon wrap fillets from Omaha Steaks on my grill this weekend and not give him, I may send him a picture of them and let him know he can't have any. Y'all can get some too, and you too can cook them and not share them with Charlie. You go to omahasteaks.com, you put Eric in the search bar, ERICK. You put it in the search bar and you will see the Grand Summer Grill Out package. By the way, next weekend is Labor Day. And you know what? You need these steaks and chicken and burgers and franks. If you order now, by the way, they're going to give you 4 free gourmet jumbo franks and 4 free burgers. There are 4 of each already in the package, so you get 8 total, and they're delicious. You could go to the grocery store and buy comparable stuff, and it would be way more. And not only that, it would be of less quality. Why? Because Omaha Steaks is that awesome. Go to omahasteaks.com, put Eric in the search bar, get this package. Labor Day is coming up next week, people. You need this, and then poof, it's going to go away. So you got to get it now if you have taste. Now, let's go to Bill and Swanee. Bill, you're next. Welcome.
Hey, Eric. How you doing?
I was fine until my jerk producer had to be fired today for being a jerk.
Hey, you got to fire jerks, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, hey, I just wanted to say it's funny you mentioned the tweet, Trump tweet making a bad tweet or something. I'm always on pins and needles about that. I usually like his vibrato, especially when it goes against the fake news and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope he's a little more disciplined this week because I think the convention's been really good and a lot of good messages. I really liked the Cuban businessman. That was just a great message. But anyway, I'll get to the point. I hope tonight his message, I know he's going to go after Biden, but I do hope, and I was going to ask you this since you did have a preview of the speech, I do hope he lays out his plan for his next 4 years. So
Bill, believe it or not, he's going to get a little philosophical in his speech tonight. Yes, he's going to lay out a vision for the next 4 years. The Republicans want to highlight actual things they want to get done because I think objectively so, the Democrats really didn't highlight what they wanted to get done policy-wise. So, yes, the president does want to highlight that, particularly focused on getting the economy back. But he really does want to make a philosophical argument as well that you can have Joe Biden, who for 47 years wasn't able to move America forward, or you can have Donald Trump, who will advance the American agenda. I'll tell you the speech you need to watch tonight, Tom Cotton's speech. Senator from Arkansas is going to be on stage and make a case for the president on foreign policy. I got a preview of the speech. In fact, the senator called me himself to tell me, and I'm going to look forward to that speech. By the way, tomorrow here on this program, I'm going to have Vernon Jones with me. I'm also going to have Austin Chambers from the Republican State Leadership Committee, our council, on here to talk about the convention and the path forward for the GOP, the state of the play, and what is Vernon Jones going to do out on the campaign trail. If you can.
The WSB 24-hour news center. Now, Tropical Storm Laura has weakened over land, but is still threatening thousands of people with ferocious winds and torrential rain. Courtney Zabowski has the latest, first from Galveston, Texas.
Right now, our crew is in Galveston, Texas, where we are seeing minor flooding because Galveston Bay came out of its banks, but nothing like what we're seeing in Louisiana. Trees toppled over. One of those trees fell on a home where a 14-year-old was riding out the storm with her family. Sadly, that teenager is the first reported fatality as a result of the storm, first fatality in the United States.
And by the end of the day, a total of 4 people confirmed dead in Texas and Louisiana. Here's the story from there.
This was the most powerful storm to ever make landfall in Louisiana.
Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards.
We have sustained a tremendous amount of damage. We have thousands and thousands of our fellow citizens whose lives are upside down.
With widespread damage, massive power outages, and deaths tallied across the state, though, the governor says it could have been far worse.
We did not sustain and suffer the absolute catastrophic damage that we thought was likely based on the forecast we had last night.
Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
87 degrees on Peachtree Street at 531. News brought to you by Dynamic Money. WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish has his exclusive 5-day forecast on the way. Next Triple Team traffic, here is Doug Turnbull.
Rain could soon be a factor on the West Freeway in Douglas County. Prepare and get your headlights on already. I-20 overall on both sides of town, not super aggravating, and there aren't any things blocking lanes downtown, just the normal grind, or what's become the new normal grind. 75-85 southbound before 17, rolling down to the I-20 area. Smile Mark McKay, Coolrick, your Traffic Center.
Heading from Sandy Springs to the Stone Mountain Freeway, 285 east and southbound. Here's what ahead of you. A little brake light action in Doraville, 285 eastbound approaching Buford Highway. Pretty thick through the I-85 interchange. Pick up speed only to slow again through Tucker, Highway 29 past Highway 78. West side perimeter jammed up as usual. Tight squeeze leaving 285 southbound, the Antelope at Hollowell Parkway onto I-20. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
To Wisconsin, Kenosha Police Chief Daniel Miskin says most of the protesters there are peaceful, calling for change and accountability.
By no means do I or anybody up will intend violence. Most of those people want change, they want accountability, and those are things I think we all agree upon.
He says there are a handful of people who want to stir up trouble. He thanked the protesters last night for demonstrating peacefully, going home before the curfew. Chief says the investigation into the shooting of 3 protesters Tuesday night does continue. Top leaders at the University of Alabama have ordered the school's professors to keep quiet about the coronavirus. There's an outbreak that's infected more than 500 students there during the first week of classes, but faculty in multiple departments say today they've gotten emails telling them not to discuss the situation in classrooms. In fact, quote, do not tell the rest of the class. The email reads with the word not underlined. As more passengers return to the skies, finally more restaurants are reopening at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport.
As the pandemic worsened and air traffic was cut to almost nil, only about 40 of 340 concessionaires at the Atlanta airport remained open. Now about 100,000 passengers pass through the airport each day. It's only about 30% of pre-pandemic numbers, but the Atlanta Business Chronicle reports the number of open businesses, specifically restaurants, has essentially tripled. Now, serving at the airport, everything from Shake Shack and Grindhouse Burgers to Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. The airport updates its growing list each Thursday. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
And WSB News Times 533.
Tell your smart speaker to play 95.5 WSB when you wake up tomorrow for the latest breaking news on the morning drive. Plus President Trump's acceptance speech and the aftermath of Hurricane Laura when you start the day with Atlanta's Morning News.
Because who doesn't like talking about money? Hey, this is Chris Burns. Here's your dynamic money update. I get it. Maybe she spends too much, or maybe he needs to realize that going to his parents' house, not a vacation. You get the point. You've argued about money, right? Well, I was reading a study recently backing up something I've seen with clients for years, that the biggest money issue in most relationships isn't actually money, it's talking about money. So, how do you and your significant other talk about money? Do you avoid it? Is it only discussed when you're arguing, or do you have a plan for your money that you both get excited talking about? If you don't, you're missing out, because money can actually be a tool that brings you together. Oh, and for the record, your parents' house, not a vacation. Hey, that's your Dynamic Money Update. This is Chris Burns. Let's make a plan built for life. Go to dynamicmoney.com.
I'm Tom Shane, and at Shane Company,
Mass and James L. Knight Foundation, helping NPR advance journalistic excellence in the digital age.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Elsa Chang in Los Angeles.
And I'm Audie Cornish in Washington. We have an update now on the NBA playoffs. They won't resume tonight, but will resume soon. This follows a move by players and what looks sort of like a wildcat strike, protesting and refusing to take the court as they protest justice for Jacob Blake, the man shot by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We're coming back now to David Aldridge, longtime NBA correspondent with The Athletic. And David, I want to come back to you because I understand this decision comes after many emotional conversations with the players, right?
Yes, Audie. I mean, they have been talking the last couple of days about what to do.
The ride home. We'll show you how much coming up. Winning supper for two would be sweet, would it not? Your chance in the next turn.
Girl, I've been thinking about us.
One count of false imprisonment, and Jacob Alejandro Ramirez of Leonard Drive was arrested Tuesday by Cartersville police and charged with one count of false imprisonment and also one count of criminal damage to property. And a Cartersville woman is jailed on violence charges. Madeline Grande Nally of Seahorse Circle was arrested by Cartersville police and charged with one count of battery.
Your pharmacist is a great source of information about your health and your medicine. Keeping you healthy is a priority of Holtz Pharmacy. They have a website, they're on Facebook, and also have a mobile app to be used to request refills 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. Other features of Holtz: specialty compounding, convenient drive-through.
I'd agree with you that they did the wrong thing, but hold it back from them until they understand and they have to change their behavior. And the only way you hurt people that got the money is stop the money. So they should stop this and continue to uphold, because our lives are worth more than a contract.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Fierce Nachawati Law Firm with principal office in Dallas, Texas.
Attention women. If you or a loved one used talcum powder for years and were then diagnosed...
Personal Injury Law Firm Traffic Center. We gon' get the check. Money. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
Hey, I'm Angela Yee.
And I go by the name of Charlamagne the God, and we're the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club.
And we went...
Hot, steamy cup of McCafe to get you through your day.
Mix and match is sausage biscuits, sausage McMuffins, sausage burrito, chicken McGriddles, hash browns, and medium premium roast coffee. And get two for $2. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your dentist to actually believe you?
And you're flossing every day.
Absolutely. Patients apply. Visit geico.com for detail.
Back to the track with Jay Nix on Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station.
Argue, Janet, that the Bible doesn't see men and women as having interchangeable roles in marriage. The Bible sees men and women as equally valuable in God's sight, equally sharing in the image of God, which makes us the highest of God's creations, of God's creatures. But it does give to the husband a leadership role or a headship role in marriage that didn't come about as a result of sin, but existed in the relationship between Adam and Eve that was established by God before sin entered the world. And I give 10 different reasons from the text of Genesis and subsequent reflection on that in other passages. 10 different reasons why a husband's headship in marriage was established before the fall, and it's not a result of sin. Now, there are mistakes that husband and wife can make of being too passive or too aggressive in their roles, but there is a biblical balance of a husband having a loving, self-sacrificing, caring leadership role for his wife, and a wife submitting to her husband's leadership, but contributing intelligently and joyfully, and certainly with great insight to the decision-making process in a family, as my wife does regularly when we talk about various decisions we have to make.
Wonderful. Let me take a break and come right back. This hour is flying by. Dr. Wayne Grudem is with us. He joins us today because of his latest book. It's called Christian Ethics, An Introduction to Biblical Moral Reasoning. The book is over 1,200 pages long. It is a resource book that will stay with you for a long, long time and really help us to understand the character of God and the ethics from which we can extrapolate out of his character.
Like Dr. Douglas B. McCorkle or Burton Cathy or Margaret Ponda, my parents, or others. I was not only influenced by what they shared with me, but I witnessed their godly lives even through adversity and hard times. Their memory is dear to me, but I've also known those whose lives were riddled with wickedness. Their memory brings sadness to my soul. How we live today is how people will remember us. The preoccupation with Christ's likeness must be our lifelong pursuit.
So will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Last week, Joe Biden didn't say one word about the violence and chaos engulfing cities across this country. So let me be clear. The violence must stop, whether in Minneapolis, Portland, or Kenosha. Too many heroes have died defending our freedom to see Americans strike each other down. We will have law and order on the streets of this country for every American of every race and creed and color. President Trump and I know that the men and women that put on the uniform of law enforcement are the best of us. Every day, when they walk out that door, they consider our lives more important than their own. People like Dave Patrick Underwood, an officer in the Department of Homeland Security's...
No, 919-9559 or visit levelons.com before the season is over. This is The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.
The Fan is here to help you get home with up-to-the-minute traffic. Driven by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs.
Good afternoon. Let's get your Big 3 trip times. 14 minutes headed up I-85 towards Lawrenceville, and that's going to be between Spaghetti Junction, northbound to Highway 360.
So this is good news. Now, in Metro Atlanta, there are a lot of us who would be refinancing a mortgage balance below that 125. And if you're in that category, then this is all just noise for you about the fees. But if you are refinancing a balance larger than that, the more important thing I want you to think about is shopping your refi with tons of lenders and in Metro.
Patrol! Ed Kirby's Adventure Mitsubishi Dime Patrol. In downtown Chattanooga, they unrelentingly stand watch on the security of your down payment.
Sir, you've been charging more than one dime down. Now, I told you fellers before, they gots to pay up. Not at Adventure Mitsubishi, they don't.
Adventure Joe knows it's a crime to pay more than a dime.
One dime down.
And ask for credit amnesty.
If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit.
25 grand.
Plus, you could get out of that loan, even if you still owe thousands.
New Adventure Mitsubishis with no payments for 6 months.
Well, I reckon it's a crime to pay more than a dime.
One dime down. Stick with Adventure Joe at Adventure Mitsubishi. In downtown Chattanooga, AdventureCars.com. AdventureCars.com.
Example 20 Mitsubishi G4, 17,920, dime down, $199 a month, 84 months at 2.9% APR, plus tax, tag, title, deferred payments to qualified buyers.
All the school supplies. So we're going to give away $103 to 103 different families to help them get back to school.
Nice.
That's what we're all about here at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK.
We love our Atlanta community. We're going to continue to help no matter what the school year looks like. So welcome back to school, folks.
Amy, that is so nice. Atlanta loves you too. Thank you so much for looking out for our hometown Atlanta kids. If you're ever in a truck wreck, make sure you call my lawyer, Amy Witherite, at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK.
If you think educational support should actually be available when you need it, enter Strayer. Built for online, our innovative tools give you personalized.
Why would someone raised as a Muslim decide to follow Jesus? What cost would you be willing to pay to be publicly aligned with the Son of God in a hostile nation? Stay with us for a riveting conversation with a man who's passionate about sharing the gospel with people living in the Middle East. That begins on the second hour in the market in just 5 minutes on Moody Radio.
For the first time ever, Compassion International, Food for the Hungry, and World Vision
try to say that he has federal authority to go into places like Portland or Kenosha and bring peace. Well, that really isn't his responsibility or his obligation, or should he really be doing that? We haven't federalized law enforcement. It's a state function. So I think that what Trump is doing is he's really pushing this because it's a campaign issue. His followers, the people we deal with, and we think it's essential that Americans understand in our book, they want to be felt, they want to feel comfortable, they want to feel a strong leader. So that's what he's playing to. It's not that he knows this body of science we report on, it's just intuitively he knows what to do. And that is to give them the impression that Daddy's taking care of everything.
You wrote this book with Bob Altmaier, a psychology professor, who's a specialist in authoritarianism, to see why Trump's base is so faithful to him no matter what he does. You asked the question, why do evangelical Christians support him, for example, despite his well-documented sexual predations? And now, of course, Jerry Falwell Jr. has just had to step down as head of Liberty University because of a sexual scandal as well. He was an early supporter of President Trump when he was running for president, extremely significant in Trump's success. You talk about why do many working class Americans support him despite the way he works against their interests. Talk more about your psychological approach to Trump and what you think has to be done right now.
Well, I have actually been on this subject for some years. Over a decade ago, I did a book called Conservatives Without Conscience, and Bob Altmaier was very helpful when I was trying to understand.
Cleared out of the way. Still, traffic is a little slow. Give yourself about 15 or 16 minutes to get from downtown to the 75-24 split. Westbound 24 slow passing downtown, but once you get to Moccasin Bend, it looks good. Northbound 27, no problem. Southbound 27, you're still one lane from the Ojati Bridge down to I-24, so a bit of a delay getting through there. 153 looks good between I-75 and the dam. 75 southbound, watch out for flashing lights as you pass East Brainerd Road. Everything should be out of the roadway there. Northbound 75, a bit slow from the state line to the split. Watch out for accidents. Wilcox at Riverside and Discovery Drive at Volkswagen Drive. Tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $68 million. Select the multi-draw feature and stay in the game for the next several jackpot drawings. Drawings every Tuesday and Friday only from the Georgia Lottery.
Green Pest Control Solutions from your friends at Jody Millard.
It turns out there is, in fact, one surefire way.
Options and other essentials all in one place. Kind of like how you take care of things all in one place, too.
Lunch is ready, laundry's in the dryer, and has anyone seen my laptop? I've got a meeting in 5 minutes.
And might I say, very impressive. Minute Clinic at CVS, where healthier meets easier. Services vary by location. See clinic for details. Patients may get prescriptions and front store items at any pharmacy of their choosing.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
Lower your carbon footprint while driving just as far in a single charge as you would on a tank of gas. Cobb EMC's Night Flex rate is the first of its kind in the nation. Recharge your EV at home overnight for free. Plus, there's an EV checkout program just for Cobb.
Continuing to lay off workers. Before the pandemic, unemployment claims were averaging about 200,000 a week. Ginny Cosola, Fox News.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration now has an app that will let you know if there's a recall on your vehicle. If you enter your VIN number into the app called Safer Car, it will let you know if there's a recall. Other companies like Carfax have similar features on their apps, but this is a first for the federal government. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
I'm Dr. Amar Habib with Advent Health.
44% of respondents said their businesses have seen a moderate decline due to the pandemic. Well, we decided to do our own survey. Yes, unscientific, anecdotal, but with actual people and their actual stories. Last winter, we followed 3 small businesses through the holiday shopping season, and we have decided to give them a call back now that, now that everything has changed, right? First up, an e-commerce company in downtown Los Angeles.
I'm Patty Delgado. I'm the founder and CEO of Hija de tu Madre. We design apparel, accessories, and stationery that are all Latina inspired. Our planners are basically our key item every year. And this year, we're having to order them even farther in advance than we normally would, just to make sure that we have these planners on time. And I'm honestly a little bit worried. This is our first year ordering inventory through a boat, and that takes a really long time. But, we're at this point that's even a little bit more secure than getting things on a plane. I think the health of so many industries also impacts the well-being of my...
He's an on-air host. I'm not answering any other questions. Male? Nice try, Shark.
This station or that other station?
I'm not answering any other questions. What I am going to say is that this person does not, in my opinion, have a valid reason to unfollow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When did you get so scared of confrontation?
Well, I wanted to put a poll up there to ask what's the proper way to handle it.
But what do you care about a poll? You're Mark Zinno. You don't answer to the humanoids. What's happened to you?
What do you mean what's happened to you?
You're scared to say who it is? You're putting polls up?
Well,
what the hell, man?
Stop yelling at me.
Where are your marbles?
Huevos?
You're like Serrano right now. Marbles!
Huevos?
Followed by Los Medina.
No, don't guess. That's not the point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The point is, Major Colonel Major Payne is all of a sudden now scared to say who it is. Who is it? Who is it?
You really want to know?
Answer me! I can handle the truth.
Okay. I'll give you one guess. Go ahead.
I'm not want to play games with you.
Chuck, I'll give you a guess.
It's steak.
I don't want to guess. I want to know the name.
Here's the thing. He would not be fired up if it was steak, would he?
I don't know.
I strenuously object to you not telling us. You strenuously object.
Cellini and Domino, I don't think it would bother him. Buck, he could care less.
Kincaid. It was Kincaid.
That's your angling for a reason to not like Kincaid anyway.
But that's your Twitter argument, amigo.
I mean,
maybe they cancel each other out. That's right.
Why? I just want to know what was his justification. It's not like we are on different sides of things politically.
That's interesting.
Right? So why would he stop following me? Do y'all ever beef, directly together on Twitter?
No, in the pulpit, he comes out and talks to me all the time.
Have you addressed him about this?
No, that's why I want to know how to handle it.
So you haven't had any sort of flare-up with Kincaid?
No, and trust me, I've had the hemorrhoid flare-ups with people.
So you would recognize it?
Yeah.
I gave Hoyt way too much firepower this show already.
It's kind of like his tag team partner. Once Zinno gets tired of arguing, which takes all day, then he slaps John in. When did the unfollow happen?
I just noticed it yesterday.
So it could have happened anytime.
You want to know what it was? Because I saw something about Philadelphia, and when I went to tweet it about, it was a video of a grandfather walking past his grandson. Instead of greeting him, it takes the eagle's head off his head and throws it in the bushes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, at John Kincaid. And as I was doing it, it just said following. It doesn't say you follow each other. And I go, this dirtbag unfollowed me. Are you certain he used to? I'm positive he used to.
You think you should address him?
I was contemplating doing the passive-aggressive thing and calling him out on Twitter.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
Yes.
Unfollow him.
Hold on, I'm calling.
No, you can't do that.
Why?
Calling Kincaid.
Don't do that.
Wait a minute. No, we gotta get to the bottom of this. I don't like this. I don't like this strife.
You have to tell him he's on the radio in Georgia.
I don't. John, what are you doing?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting
You're on the radio.
on the couch with the dog.
Listen to me, because I have a question for you. It's just you and me. Did you unfollow Mark Zeno on Twitter?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Well, what did he do?
Oh, there was just it was.
Oh, you're on the radio.
Nothing.
It was what?
No, it's not.
What?
It was not.
It wasn't what?
Say that on the radio.
No, you're on the radio.
No, I can't tell you now. No, let's say it now. I'm not telling you now.
Why?
Because this is false pretense.
John, you're on the radio.
It's false pretense.
John, you're on the radio.
So I can't tell you.
Don't curse. Don't curse, because I don't like cursing. But did he do something to earn the
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
He knows what he did.
Well, I talked to John. Listen, Zeno's not around, but I talked to him the other day. He doesn't know why Vate's bothering him.
Well, I think he knows.
Would you?
He knows.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Did you, are you looking to get a rise out of him?
John Zeno's here.
No. What me getting
Ask him the time frame. When did you unblock him? I'm sorry, when did you unfollow?
That was, Hoyt would know that answer. Why don't you just ask him?
Hoyt would know when you unfollowed?
It was a month ago.
Yeah.
It was a month ago?
More than a month ago.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is it a military thing?
Yes, it is. It's honestly, it's a 5'11".
You're giving him a couple of inches.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying anything under. No, in all reality, it was I said, okay, I've had enough. I said, I've had enough. So I said, let's just unfollow. And I said to Hoyt and Lowe's, who very well know, I said to them, let's see how long it takes, Mark.
So wait. By the way, you're on the radio.
See how? I know I'm on the radio.
Okay, so these guys are all freaking out like they don't think you know him. Like, guys, John's in on the joke. So can he earn your trust back to get a refollow?
No. I believe what he said to me. Do you want? Can we really be like family?
Yes, La Familia talks these things out.
Okay, I believe what he typed out.
Oh Lord.
With his little fingers. I think what he typed out, because he doesn't overlap on fingers. I believe what he typed out was something along the lines of that my career's passed me by.
Oh.
I think I saved it, by the way, just a screenshot in case you would go back and delete.
John Kincaid, by the way, is joining us right now.
And then I think he said something like Tom Brady, your playing days are over.
Well, this sounds personal.
John doesn't forget either.
I was thinking he was more Doug Flutie.
All right. Well, listen, we want. He was.
So that was it. So in other words, at that point, the great Maya Angelou said once, "When someone shows you their true colors, believe them."
Wow, that's the deepest we've ever been on this show.
And I think that's the summary of the situation, is that, you can thank someone for their service, but when they show you who they really are, believe them.
So he got personal with you, and this was, okay, I don't care.
I mean, I think that is, I think that's where it is. It's believe somebody when they show you who they are.
What's for dinner tonight?
We had chicken Milanese.
Ooh, very nice.
Delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really good.
All right.
And and a nice red wine. Glass of red wine.
Nice Chianti?
Yes. So it's good. So that's it.
All right.
And Chernoff, how long have you and I known each other? Like 20 years?
Oh, easily.
How come we've never had one of these?
Well, because I'm not like Zen. I love Zen to death, but I don't.
We're adults.
In the polls, and he knows it. But being behind in the polls on August 26th does not mean you've lost it. It actually shows you your paths forward. And the Republicans have some remarkable paths forward. And if you don't have to believe me on this, I want to play a clip from Chuck Todd. We'll get into the speeches. I got sound bites from the
red meat so far, at least not as much as last night. Last night, I think, was a lot more of that. But tonight, you're seeing another similar theme. There's another focus, particularly showcasing what President Trump's done on criminal justice reform. Both campaigns, guys, tell me that there is a chance that Donald Trump could overperform with African-American men. It's a concern of the Biden campaign, and it's a focus of the Trump campaign.
Overperform with African-American men. Even the Biden campaign knows this. It is important that everyone understand what's going on right now. If you are black and you work at a business and you show up to that business and it is burned to the ground by a bunch of rich, white, entitled Antifa activists, you're not going to be happy. If you're a black man and see other black men thrown in jail and Donald Trump signed criminal justice reform and got him out of jail, you're going to attribute that to him, not to Kamala Harris, who is throwing black men in jail. The president has inroads here. If you don't believe me, look to Florida. Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott won their elections because black men rejected the black man who was running against them, or running against Ron DeSantis, and supported DeSantis and Scott. In fact, black men in Florida voted for Ron DeSantis at a higher rate than they voted for Donald Trump, and the trend lines look to be headed in Donald Trump's direction. The Democrats know this, and that's why you're going to hear the Democrats amp up more talk about white nationalism and stuff from the Republicans. That's why they're going to amplify racial rhetoric. I don't know that it's going to work at this point. It's almost a cry wolf moment at this point. There's a really good data, and Chuck Todd is reporting in MSNBC that even the Biden people are telling him. Now, the president doesn't expect to get a majority of black men voting for him, but he doesn't need a majority. White voters are consolidating behind Donald Trump. 70% now of white voters, that's up 10 points in 3 months. 70% of white voters are now in for Trump. And do you know why? For the same reason the governor of Oregon finally today, after 3 months, said the rioting has to stop. It's starting to hurt the Democrats. You've got Don Lemon on CNN saying the rioters have to stop because it's showing up in the polling now as an issue. You're darn right. Well, you shouldn't need a poll to tell you that, but the Democrats apparently did. And the Republicans are amplifying this. Listen, crime has not been a top 10 issue for Americans in more than 3 years, and it is suddenly the number 5 issue for Americans in polling. That should tell everyone that the riots are having an impact, and the Democrats never addressed it last week, and the Republicans are are having a ton of it on, and they're focused on it. It's a message that works for the suburbs. Will it be enough? I don't know. Is it a start? It is. Are they headed in the right direction? They are. And how do I know? By the spittle-fueled rage of blue check marks on social media who are incensed at what they're seeing. This convention isn't for them. It's not really even for the base of the Republican Party. It's for people who don't like the president, but think maybe I need to vote for the guy.
I feel like you'll hold local politicians to the task, and we need more of that.
Eric Erickson and Atlanta's Evening News, sponsored by Comcast Business on 95.5 WSB.
WC traffic time is 4:22. Let's get those headlights on, please, if you're heading.
Manage a claim or add a new driver.
But after you switch, you might be so... iPhone Pro with 5G.
Wow. 4K videos make me feel like a professional movie actor.
And new Magenta you'll get unlimited premium.
Major problem, though. More than a quarter of employees may quit. They're calling it the Great Resignation. That's what they're calling it, the economy. What's happening is workers have had more than a year to reconsider the work-life balance or their career path as the world has opened back up. Many people are just giving their 2 weeks notice and like, no, you know what? After being in the house for more than a year, do I really want to do this? Is this how I want to do, life is short? Is this what I want to do? And basically, surveys are showing that as many as 25 to more than 40% people are actually thinking about quitting their jobs. Remember we had the lady on? She talked about the fact that she
got a new job, and the only qualification that she insisted on was that it had to be 100% virtual. According to Associate Professor of Management at Texas A&M University, saying, I don't envy the challenges that human resources are facing right now. Because people are considering switching their whole entire career. So what are you going to do to hold on to your employees? Wouldn't they say, everybody's supposed to get back over here?
Perfect. And as a steak lover, I was really excited to see the McLaren Farms beef is now being sold only at Walmart, meaning getting great quality USDA choice Angus beef that's all natural with no added hormones. It's going to be a lot more affordable, and I'm going to be firing up that grill a lot more often. So if you're grilling this weekend, go to Walmart. If you're having friends over this weekend, hit your local Walmart. If you're craving some finger-licking ribs, get down to Walmart. And if you're craving juicy and tender fillets like I always am, I recommend you go to Walmart and try McLaren Farms beef.
It's that time of year, and as a landscaper, that can only mean one thing. It's my time to hustle. And with Metro by T-Mobile, me and my brothers...
Your office today gets handled flawlessly. Be here when the ride home rolls out at 5. Before that, more great music from the superstars you won't find.
All right, good afternoon, Renee. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. It's the top of the week. Let's get into some traffic and see what's going on. We're going to start in Sandy Springs. We have a disabled vehicle. The right lane is blocked, 285 eastbound at Roswell Road. Stop-and-go traffic goes all the way back to Riverside Drive. In Fulton, an accident. Left shoulder's blocked here, 285 northbound, right after I-20. And in Cobb, we have another accident. Left shoulder blocked. Slow traffic as well, 285 southbound at Paces Ferry Road. Back to Atlanta, disabled vehicle. Shoulder is blocked, 75 southbound, right after Moores Mill Road. You can see slow traffic stemming all the way back from West Paces Ferry Road. There was a vehicle fire which has been put out. In Buckhead, police activity, not sure exactly what it is, but traffic is backed up Peachtree Road, both northbound and southbound. This is at Lindbergh Drive. That's a look at our afternoon traffic from the WJZA Traffic Center. I'm Bistro. Now back to the ride with Renee Miller on Smooth Jazz 101, Smooth Jazz 100.
So it's still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Truck wrecks are still happening.
Yes.
Why are attorneys scared to go to court?
I got to tell you, it's a weird phenomenon. You would think all of us would get in the courtroom, but there's a group of lawyers. They'll try and settle your case out fast without even filing suit. Okay. Then you got a group of lawyers who'll file the lawsuit, but they don't want to get in the courtroom. And then you have a group of lawyers like us. We really are warriors. We get into the courtroom, we get into the arena, and we're not afraid to hold somebody responsible for what they did wrong. No matter how long it takes, we're going to do right by you and your family.
All he had to do was say, hey, could you guys move over and give me one lane? There's 3 lanes in the pool. One lane. By the way, when the guy was being a jerk, the kids go, okay, we'll just move over. And they moved over, and they tightened up their area, and they were in literally one lane.
Right.
But the guy was just a jerk for no reason. Like, it was no reason to be that way. And that's what made me mad. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, these kids were polite. They were not. I've been to the same pool where kids were rude, and I say kids because, like, they're, young college, young adults, and they weren't rude at all, And so I wanted to just, pop off at the old dude and be like, have some class, act like an adult. But I just said it now, so hopefully he listens.
But the thing is, though, we see this with my neighborhood. There's people. Some of these people, Carl. There's these old persnickety folks who just live for that stuff. They live for. I had a guy at Publix the other day, and he was just looking. You could tell this guy was just looking to bow up because he had some coupons that were expired, and he was just. You knew he was just looking for a conflict.
Yeah.
And I was like 2 people behind on the 10. Was it the 10? 10 items or less. So I just finally yell over. I go, "Hey Mac, I'll give you $2. Can we get on with our lives?" You know what I mean? Because that drives me crazy. You would think as you get older, you'd be mellower and cool because you're going to see God soon. But these people go the other way, Carl.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm with you. It's a tough conversation, especially when you feel like you need to jump in. But I'll say this too. Part of our generation, who the hell keeps calling me? Part of our generation,
probably an angry neighbor.
Honestly, I'm like, come on, what's the deal? I'm doing a show. Of our parents' generation was that they were not afraid to intervene. And it doesn't matter where you come from. You could talk to people who grew up in all black neighborhoods. It didn't matter. Integration, white, it didn't matter. People were not afraid to intervene. Okay. And you've heard the stories, right? Oh, I got a spanking from my neighbor and then I go home and get a spanking from my mom and dad. The point is when people were rude, somebody stood up. When people were doing something they shouldn't do, there was usually an adult who said, you shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody's afraid because somebody's going to press charges or call the cops or, there's a lawsuit. So nobody wants to get involved, even though it's right, to say, hey, probably shouldn't be doing that. So, Bo, that's why I think Mike is saying what he's saying, which is don't get involved, because I think we're programmed that way now.
No, look, don't get me wrong, bro. I'm always. There was one time we were in. We got to roll. But one time we were in New York for Valentine's with my wife, and we were in Little Italy, and there was a 6-top table, and we've all waited tables and bartended, and there were a bunch of English folks, and the British folks weren't going to tip. There was a 15% gratuity for a big party, and they were hassling the young waiter. And I stood up. I said, "Look, pal, we're over here in America. We tip." And all of a sudden, I started getting bowed up, and my wife's Becky's holding my arm, pulling me back. Will you stop? I was like, because they were belittling the waiter.
Yes.
And I'm like, look, I go, finally, I just snapped. I go, listen here, you limey cheapskates. Over here, we drop 20%. The kid's working his butt off all night. See? And that's again, I got to learn to shut up. But my nature is to get into it, Carl. I'm with you. It's going to be normally I would tell the old fart, why don't you go see how long you can hold your breath underwater, you old fart? But you can't do that. It's good. You got to come back there the next week.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you guys, because I thought it could be, and obviously all the listeners can chime in. That's why I asked, because it really bothered me later. I ended up talking to the kids because I respected how well they handled it, because I wouldn't have handled it that well at 18 or 19 or 20. And a couple of them went to Georgia, one went to Kennesaw State. So just good kids. I'm really proud of how they handled it, and I'm really ashamed of how classless some of my neighbors clearly are. And by the way, Radio 101 tips for you young broadcasters. When you're on the air, put your phone on silent. Chris, hit the music.
What's the damn question?
How dare he?
Wow. And by the way, I did ask a question.
Civics and ethics lessons here from Scriptbilly.
I know how to treat people and what to do on the job.
Yes.
So keep going, darling. We rooting for you, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Listen, you never know. It's all in your spirit. What you put out, you get back. She came on the Kenny Burns Show live, ready to go. This is what I do. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to raise grandsons, da-da-da. I went left. I know X, Y, and Z. I'm going to hook you up with such and such. The dream is real. Listen, when y'all see 3 o'clock tomorrow, start calling. Yeah, start calling because this is the last break for the day, and it's a line full of people trying to get on 447-419-8335
South, right around Georgia, 400. Getting a bit busy in DeKalb, I-20 eastbound. That begins right around 285. Heading out past Panola Road, and we're still seeing those volume delays. South side, 75 north, coming up from before Locust Grove into McDonough. Southbound traffic still sluggish due to earlier trouble on 75 southbound near exit 205. I'm O'Gara. Wake up at the Big Tigger Morning Show weekdays from 6 to 10, and check out the Kenny Burns Show weekday after.
That you are. And I really appreciate all the areas of club time you keep a very close check on. And I see you have a report forms right there in your handy-dandy clipboard that you're waving all around here.
Wow, Captain, you have 20/20 eyesight, sir. I have Mr. Joey's Ready for Sea report, and his report reads like this. Engineering all secure and ready for sea. Now, if we move out in the next few jiffies, it's okay with me.
Mr. Joey must be feeling better today. His report is positive.
Ahoy, Captain. All clubbers aboard. All deck gear secured for sea.
Aye, aye, boatswain. That's all our report, Sparkle. Give a warning to all ships. We're moving out.
Aye, aye, Captain. One earth-shattering blast from the ship's horn as ordered.
Is holding a news conference right now.
The top and bottom of every hour, WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Ready to get out and dress up a little? I mean, in something other than...
Between 285 and Abernathy, then off to the races through Roswell and Alpharetta, 75 northbound in Cobb County. You're also seeing waves of volume through Marietta and Kennesaw, 575, not too bad so far, through the Bells Ferry Curve. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB. Kirk Mullish with Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast. Tonight, turning partly cloudy, lows 66 to 70. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a little lower humidity, high 89, lows 60 to 64.
89 degrees at 408. I'm Chris Chale on 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Back from New York City, which is probably a safer place than Atlanta this weekend, and Longoria stoic, dodging bullets like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Unbelievable. Before we get to the death, destruction, and shooting segment of Atlanta's News and Talk with Mark Aram, let me just relax and say hi to the Bananas and check in. Longoria, I know your daughter's birthday party was this weekend. 6 years old.
6.
That's a big one.
I cannot believe she's 6.
Give me all the details, man. Put a smile on my face before I talk about death and destruction.
All right. Well, we had a swim party. We got a blow-up swimming pool. We got a big old unicorn that spits water out, a slip and slide. It was great.
Where does the water come out of the unicorn? The horn or the mouth?
Oh, yeah? The horn, yeah.
Oh, of course. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Of course. We had pizza on Amazon. I have no idea.
Okay, so it's not it wasn't a rental.
No,
I want to make sure that wasn't used at a bachelor party last weekend.
No.
For
It came
Jello
straight out the
wrestling.
box.
Okay,
Straight out
great.
the box. Yeah.
And was all her swim team members there?
No, just the two little girls their friends that lived down the street. They were the only ones there.
So just a small little.
Oh yeah, it was just 4 of them there.
Yeah.
And that little boy that lives down the street too.
And a cake.
A cake from Publix. We're shopping as a pleasure.
Yeah, good job, Longoria. We get the bell here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw your daughter under the bus a little bit
Okay.
here just to see Deborah's reaction.
All right.
Let me look at Deborah while you answer this question. What did your beautiful daughter want for her birthday meal?
Oh, today? She wanted Chick-fil-A.
Longoria.
What?
What did you tell me in the newsroom?
Oh, Taco Bell. Taco Bell, I forgot. She did. I don't know where she got that from. We haven't fed her Taco Bell ever.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, I'm
She
sorry.
told Leslie, she goes, what, because they, like every year for everybody, like my mother-in-law will be like, what do y'all want for I'll make you anything. Like it's, like if she wanted cheese pizza, macaroni and cheese, that's what everybody's
for dinner.
eating,
Yeah, yeah.
basically. And so
love that.
we asked her, and she was like, Taco Bell. And I was like, you've never eaten Taco Bell before. She was like, I want Taco Bell. And we're like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
I'm trying to think if there's a Jewish equivalent to Taco Bell that I could have asked. Lender's Bagels, maybe? Like, they're fine.
So did you get her Taco Bell?
Oh, no.
Oh,
She's
no,
getting
no.
Chick-fil-A today.
I was going to say, I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
does she
We made her
think,
change her mind.
did she think it's like the tacos she normally eats?
Probably, because I'm pretty sure she's seen a commercial and she has no idea what it tastes like. She's never eaten it before.
Well, in honor of...
So she probably thinks it's like the other
Homemade
Mexican
ones,
food that we
right.
went and
Yeah.
got, somewhere else. She
Well,
thinks it's-
in honor of
and-
your
and
daughter,
she-
I
by
had
the way,
Taco Bell tonight.
By the way, she doesn't eat that anyway. Even real Mexican food she won't eat. So I don't understand why she would even want Taco Bell to begin with.
But the headline of the story is you denied your daughter's birthday dinner wish.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct,
good. I just wanted to tell that story to see Deborah's
of course.
reaction.
I'm raising her right.
Yeah.
I mean, why else would I?
All right, good stuff there.
Yeah.
And well, happy birthday. Did you get her a gift? Like
Oh, she got many gifts.
many,
Yeah.
a plethora of
Yeah,
gifts.
she got a Lego set. She's going to get another one tonight. She also
So
got.
is it like Hanukkah, 8 days of gifts?
No, well, today's her real birthday.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Saturday was her party,
I
so
understand.
she got some party gifts from her friends, and we gave her a gift, and my mom and my grandmother gave her a gift, and then
Oh.
today all of us give her gifts again. So
Very nice. Can we get her anything from the bananas?
sure, you can get her whatever
You guys want to chip in and get?
She told us to surprise her. That we asked her what she wanted, and she said, "Surprise me." And I was like,
Taco
okay.
Bell gift card?
Is there anything, Chuck? Is there anything at Erickson's office we can poach?
Oh, I'm sure there's something.
That picture of Costanza?
Oh yeah,
No, that's going to end up in my
Dr.
house.
Pepper. He probably has Dr. Pepper in there. She'd like that.
You like Dr. Pepper? All right. Okay. Well, happy belated birthday. I just wanted to get some good news in here before we
Oh, yeah,
start talking about shootings and all that stuff. Before we get to some more good news, because I want to check in on Chuck's weekend as well. You get traffic updates every 6 minutes for your ride home in for Doug Turnbull. This is unbelievable. So another shooting at Lenox Mall. This time it was a security guard that was shot, and it just escalated from there. I walk into work this morning, and this is not even unusual anymore. And it's at 4:39. Actually, like, oh, there's a shooting on 85. Just as casually, she'd be like, there's a stalled big rig on 85. Just as casual as that. So we're covering the shooting this morning on 85 at Georgia 400, and in the backup, we don't know the details of what's going on. We're just trying to do the traffic. It's all lanes are blocked. It's a mess. And in the backup, allegedly another shooting happens. So instead of a fender bender in the backup, like usually, oh yeah, two cars mix it up behind a shooting in the backup. And we were hearing it on the Atlanta police scanner, and the police responding to the second shooting in the backup can't get there because the interstate's shut down and traffic. What is going on in this world, man? What the heck is going on? I thought this was like, oh, this is a temporary post-pandemic. No, this is getting worse by the day. And what Taisha is going to join us with is another shooting, this one at I believe, the South DeKalb Mall, where a retired sheriff's deputy, I think, was working security. And apparently this shooting was over someone not wearing a mask at South DeKalb Mall. Someone explain this to me. What do we have any theories? What's going on? Chuck, you're a member of a nationally syndicated radio show. Is this stuff happening all over the country?
In bigger cities, yes, there's more petty crime in some of the smaller areas, but it's becoming a nationwide problem.
I know that mass shootings are becoming a nationwide problem and shootings in general, but I haven't seen headlines from Los Angeles or Chicago or New York or Detroit or Dallas about all these interstate shootings.
No, that's on the highway.
Literally, it's like, what's in Atlanta? Well, it's Delta headquarters. They got the aquarium, and you're going to get shot on the interstate. Like that's our new thing. Sadly we're getting known for this. I don't remember seeing any other stories in big metropolitan areas where there's an interstate shooting every single day, and 2 in an hour on one interstate. And I was talking to Scott Slade this morning, and so Scott was obviously the host of Atlanta's Morning News, and for most of the pandemic, he was working remotely from his home studio, just for safety precautions, whatever. And he started coming back, the last couple of weeks, and it's great to see him now. I said to him this morning, because he drives in at the butt crack of dawn like I do, I'm like, for your safety, Slade, I think you should go back to working from home. Right? It's dangerous out on the interstates. And I don't know what caused this, the first shooting this morning or the second one this morning, but it's something that is just beyond my mental capabilities to grasp why this is happening now. Are people just looking for trouble? I don't think, some of these are, well, the fight started in the club and it took it out. All right. But as far as I know, the one today, it was just a plain old interstate shooting. It was just a run-of-the-mill. Nothing preceded it. And why are you getting road rage at 4:40 in the morning? There's not enough cars on the road to get road rage. I don't know. I'm over it, though. I'm over it. I'm sure you are as well. We'll spend a couple of minutes on this. Then we're going to go live to Taisha Fernandez in DeKalb County with another shooting story. 404-87.
So maybe I need to rely on some other people to tell you how good vision is. How about the 2,900 5-star Google reviews? Now, I don't want to reveal these people's names. I don't have permission to do that, so I'll give them fake names. But Cranston Snord says, as a small business owner, I highly recommend Vision. Thanks, Cranston. Augustine Sternfalter says, I've used Vision for 9 years, very satisfied with their service. Come on, Augustine. I can do better than that. I've been using Vision computers for over 25 years. Never had a problem. Vision Computers really does earn that 5-star rating. The number 404-COMPUTE, 404-COMPUTE.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we'll keep going. Keep going. We'll fight through it.
Yeah, I mean, sin is the problem. I mean, Eric Erickson had it right earlier today. I know that's not part of your normal segment, but we're unchecked now with dealing with all of our problems however we feel like it, and the way we naturally feel like it isn't always good.
Okay. So again, you broke up a little bit. Give me the crux of your statement again.
My crux of it is just you asked what's going on in Atlanta with the shootings on the interstates, and I'm just saying sin is the problem. Man is not inherently good. We're good when we can police ourselves and understand what the nature of sin is and deal with it spiritually, but that's the problem.
Is there a special hymn that you could teach me to help me to avoid the sin of others?
A special hymn?
I don't know, anything. This is out of my realm of, is there
a prayer? Saying something that will
rosary
keep sin
beads.
away.
Rosary beads.
Oh, that works.
Well, we start with the Lord's Prayer, and I think you go a long way with the Lord's Prayer.
All right. You know what? That's not a bad idea. The way things are on Atlanta interstates, I'm okay with saying the Lord's Prayer as a Jewish man, but when I get behind the wheel, that's not a nugget. That's just me being me. Josh is up next on the Mark Aram Show. Hey, Josh.
Mr. Aram, I really think that we're looking at a twofold problem. One is, Atlanta was the murder capital of the nation decades ago, but we didn't have 24-hour news. We didn't have social media where it could, no offense, be glamorized and bleed and lead. I'm afraid the other side of it is.
You think the interstate shootings are folks looking for headlines?
No, sir. Atlanta's always had violence.
Yeah, but never like this. Never. Maybe there's been shootings. Yes, there certainly in my 24 years here at WSB Radio, more often than not, you'll have a shooting story in one of the newscasts. But what we're seeing now, the interstate shootings in particular, freaks me out because you know what? You could avoid going to bad, quote unquote, bad areas, but a lot of us can't avoid getting on the interstate. That makes it a we problem, not just a they problem. When we come back, Taisha Fernandez with breaking news. This is Atlanta's News.
Asked this afternoon, including that major developing one in which an apparent argument over wearing a mask has led to a multiple shooting at a DeKalb County grocery store. The latest on that in just a moment. This is likely destined to be a national headline by the end of the day. First, though, breaking weather. We'll activate our severe weather tones right now as the National Weather Service has just issued a severe thunderstorm thunderstorm warning for southwestern Henry County and all of Spalding County. That is until 5 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm near Luella or south and western McDonough. This is moving southeast more slowly than we've seen so far today, moving southeast at 15 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and quarter-sized hail with this storm. Again, severe thunderstorm warning. And in fact, Wright County grocery store this afternoon. The victims include an off-duty DeKalb deputy working security at the Big Bear Market off Candler Road near the mall there. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez is at the scene. Talked to the store owner about that victim.
He has an off-duty deputy work at the front of the store every day to make sure everyone puts on a mask. In this case, the owner said the man refused to wear one, and that's what led to the shooting. There's a woman involved as well. We're told she's a cashier, and a witness said she's a really sweet lady, and they just cannot believe that she was shot in this whole incident.
That woman reported shot in the head. We have no word still now some 2 hours later on the condition of the deputy. The first reports, you may have heard them, said the shooter was also hit and wounded, but that is not so clear at this point. Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez with Mark Aram, as he said just after this newscast.
CBS News special report. At the end of his talks with NATO leaders in Europe today,
to put on a mask. Now, witnesses said he is known to do some crazy things in the store. They don't really know him, but they know that he's not to be trusted all the time. He got so mad that they told him to put on a mask, he started arguing with one of the female cashiers. Now, police are still working on the timeline here, but at some point, a shot was fired by this man, and there's an off-duty deputy who works in here who is here to enforce the mask mandate in this store. He got involved. There was a tussle, and that's how all three of those people ended up shot. The gunman, the cashier, and then the off-duty deputy. Now, there was some confusion over whether this deputy was retired, and I figured it out. He retired from DeKalb Police, but he is currently a reserve officer part-time with DeKalb Sheriff's Office. So he was here working in an off-duty capacity. I still don't know what condition everyone is in. Police said they're still working that out. So we are still trying to...
I can't believe you work with us.
I know.
The lowest
you
of
know,
the low.
Hey, they say to stay humble. You know, gotta stay humble. Gotta.
Is that how your singing career was birthed? You got on stage for the first time?
Yeah, and see, sometimes when I'm singing, I'll even tell jokes, but nobody laughs, and I realize.
That's why I don't tell jokes.
Yeah, I realize, man, I guess they want me to sing.
You ought to do it from the pulpit while you're preaching, and it's not written down. You just...
Wife Luann Ward of Calhoun, a brother Larry, two sisters Glenda Goebel and Mary Curry. Graveside services will be tomorrow, Tuesday at 4 p.m. in the Ward family lot at the Chandler Cemetery. The family will receive friends tomorrow, Tuesday, from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Thomas Funeral Home in Calhoun. The Darby Funeral Home of Canton announced the death of John William McPherson, 73, of Canton. His funeral is tomorrow, Tuesday at 2 p.m. from Marietta. Michelle McPherson of North Chesterfield, Virginia, Mary McPherson of Atlanta, and Bobby Frazier of Cartersville. A brother, Jerry Dean McPherson of Dallas, survives along with 13 grandchildren. Darby Funeral Home in charge. The Thomas Funeral Home of Calhoun announces the death of Mary F. Spector Neal, age 94, of Calhoun. Mary survived by the many children she kept and loved throughout her long life. The family will receive friends tomorrow, Tuesday, at the Thomas Funeral Home from 12 to 2 p.m., with the funeral services to immediately follow in the chapel of Thomas Funeral Home. Mary will be laid to rest beside her husband Frank at the Chandler Cemetery in Calhoun. In lieu of flowers, the family requests you honor Mary with a donation to the Veterans One or a charity of your choice. Thomas Funeral Home in charge. The Thomas Funeral Home of Calhoun announces the death of Edith DeBrader Pendergrass, age 76, of Calhoun, who passed away Sunday at the Advent Health Gordon. Edith is survived by her son, Jackie Swafford of Calhoun, a stepson, Philip Pendergrass of Virginia. 3 stepdaughters survive, as well as a brother, James Swafford of Calhoun. 2 sisters, Kristen Louise Grant of North Carolina and Marie Hall of Calhoun. The family will have a memorial service at a later date with the Thomas Funeral Home in charge.
Ponder's Funeral Home of Dalton announces the death of Ms. Melissa Ann Bird, age 49, of Dalton, who passed away Wednesday, June the 9th. The plans are incomplete at this time and will be announced later at Ponder's Funeral Home. The Thomas Funeral Home of Calhoun announces the death of Jerry Carlton Ward, age 79, of Calhoun, who passed away Sunday. Jerry is survived by his wife, Lou Ann Ward of Calhoun, a brother, Larry Ward, two sisters, Glenda Goebel and Mary Curry. Graveside services will be held Tuesday at 4 p.m., that's June 15th, in the Ward family lot at Chandler Cemetery. The family will receive friends Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Thomas Funeral Home in Calhoun.
That was your North Georgia Community Bulletin Board, a listing of the deaths in the North Georgia area. The Community Bulletin Board is heard at 7:45 a.m. and at 4:55 p.m. each weekday, and on Sunday at 10:30 a.m., 12:20 p.m., and at 5 o'clock. Announcements on the North Georgia Community Bulletin Board must be submitted by your funeral director. Ask them to fax the announcements to us at 678-454-3950.
News service, and from Jasper Drugs, I'm Asa Jones bringing you the 5 o'clock news for this Monday. Looking at weather over the next couple of days, starting with tonight, it's going to remain clear. Lows in the upper 60s. North have been involved in an altercation in the parking lot. Gunfire had been exchanged among the individuals. However, the scene is under investigation, and the department has requested the assistance of the GBI. This appears to be an isolated incident between the two individuals with no further incident to report. Further information will be forthcoming upon the involvement of the GBI. An Atlanta man has been charged with over 30 crimes related to a string of burglaries in Cherokee and Cobb counties, and more charges could be coming from other jurisdictions. Aaron Jermaine Major, age 47, is accused of breaking into 4 Woodstock businesses and at least a dozen in Cobb County between September of 2020 and his arrest on June 1st of this year. Arrest warrants from Cobb, Marietta, and Kennesaw police describe a pattern of late night and early morning burglaries where the suspect used techniques reminiscent of a heist movie. In several burglaries, security footage showed a suspect removing a window pane, crawling on floors to avoid motion detectors, and replacing the panes after exiting. In Cherokee County, Major is accused of breaking into the Chevron on Main Street, Jimmy John's, Verizon, and Joella's Hot Chicken. He used a saw to break into safes at 2 of the businesses in the early morning hours, June 1st, according to his arrest warrant filed by Woodstock Police. At another business, he's accused of cutting a large hole in the bottom of a security gate. The total damages are estimated to be over $1,500. After his arrest, Cobb police searched an apartment Major was staying at on Powers Ferry Road. Police found more than 40 cartons of cigarettes stashed, quote, under the mattress, in the closet, and under the entertainment center, believed to be stolen. They also found business checks from one of the burglarized businesses. Major remains in the Cobb County Jail and cannot be released because some charges are not bondable. He also has a hold placed on him from Cherokee County. Greg Robinson and Bart Manis were inducted Wednesday into the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame.
useta, na jaga jaga. Hita na useta, na jaga jaga. I'm satisfied that you're mine, and I love you all the time. You know I try. Ooh, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Your love is true.
Ride when it's time to head out. If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Henny got me wetter than whale piss. I die for like Elvis. Boss up and shake down. Get it jumping like a techno breakdown. Night young and we just getting started. Let me walk on yard at the Bruiser Brigade party. Got smoke, of course. Going up, fireworks on the 4th. Take mine and I do it with force. Been with it since I jumped off the porch. Used to chop slams on my grandma's sauce. Pay me what it costs, I ain't trying to hear off. Try to play brown, you be hanging with off. Cop the pound and I broke it down in ounces. Us it open like them bows came in. Got Mosul East and the Ocean Twins. Focus, I can see where ocean ends. Still thinking like it broke the wind. What it is, what you know about. Came a long way from that goat house. What it is, what you know about. Came a long way from the... All I cared about was the stacks in the stage. When it's time to re-up, my partner got his head. Ain't rocket science class, I ain't trying to pass math up. On the scale, watch me do works and craft. Any day could be my last. Living like that, tripped over the crack, crippled by a circumstance. Gotta face the facts, make this world your own. Sun spread through life, others make a marathon. Trying to live on through my music. The future influence, the next to do it. The odds are against you, kiddo. Life on everything from you like a divorced widow. Trying to get her like the next. Or it won't be. You gon' fuck around and end up a vegetable. Trying to get you a little gang. Cause some get locked, get out, we back again. What it is, what you know about. Came a long way from that goat house. What it is, what you know about. Came a long way from the... It's a combat zone.
Everything what they own, red top, blue top, get the green on the block. It's a combat zone. Everything what they own, red top, blue top, get the green on the block. It's a combat zone. Trying to get that bag, catch that lick, get that bag. It's a combat zone.
Trying to swerve from 12, it never fails when you're going through hell.
It's a combat zone. Catch the lick real quick, combat.
Get the bag, what you got?
It's the combat zone. Get the lick real quick, combat.
Get the bag up and the swag up before they call for a back up.
Was a Chevy on some Dayton's, wasn't thinking about no lawyer. Coke saving, didn't know we see them like Wes Craven. Hook jumping out them fan stores on pavement. Locked up with dirty white boys all musty. Praying for probation, hope I get lucky. Court-appointed lawyers, gotta stay copping. Put you in predicament when that's your only option. Sink or swim, look at him in the system. Just another one-way ticket to a prison. Try to help, only hurt in the end. How the supposed to take care of your kids from the pen? It's the life that we chose. Friends become foes. Your snitch down, everybody know. Son don't know how to stick to the code. Nobody to trust, that's the way life goes.
It's a combat zone. Combat. Combat zone. Combat. It's a combat zone. Combat. Combat zone. Combat.
Central Park, West on 85th. Tires on the sidewalk and gasoline spit. Back to back, I heard you shouting, losing. lose your voice. Two whispers touching to set you lightly from my side, boy. And shades and when the dashboard came on your face. Goddamn, when you got Vinny on your plates. Think I can see your car leak. Little bit from the right back review. She said, think I can hear you call me. Cut it out, man, that's not cool.
So this isn't Merca. This is an Asian technology company. They surveyed the remote work habits of 10,000 employees between April 2019 and August 2020, so pre-pandemic through the pandemic, and they found a 20% decrease in output, according to a recent report. Even though workers at home spent 30% more time working from home than they did at the office. Do you find that? You work half the day from home.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you work longer hours? Like you put it...
It's not anything we can't handle and adjust to and correct going into game 4.
Game 9 at the Farm, where the Hawks hold to even their conference semifinal series against the 76ers. They are down 2-1 thanks to...
Marketplace is supported by T-Mobile for Business, using unconventional thinking to open the door to new possibilities, dedicated to delivering...